Here we go, recording. And we're back again with
Sounds
Phil
good.
Neal. What's a J stand for?
Joseph.
Joseph. Oh, Philip Joseph. And your brother Simon,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Oh, I don't know if he wants me to reveal that, but I will. I will reveal that he's got two middle initials, and they are DJ, which is very cool. And he should really, you know, use that and catapult that into a proper DJ career. He could be DJ
Oh,
Mills.
yeah, it's Simon. Yeah, yeah. So we are talking about, I just thinking about the, after we got cut off, thinking about Cincy LA, about the plaque. I think they do something, they'll put something there in the city hall with their picture and all, right? That'd be nice, just
Uh,
for the family and all, I'm just when that happened, when that hit the news, like just before, I was like 3 days before election, 2 days or whatever, Saturday, you know.
I think it was yeah. Because I think it was the day before they announced that she had been rushed to hospital, but they didn't like say anything. It was just
And
that was the situation, you
people are
know?
like sending messages. Oh, what's there's it's like the whole conspiracy thing. What's the coincidence that happened before the election? And oh, no, she was sick for a while. From what I heard, she was ill, and she went into remission. I don't know all the details; it's private, but she chose to run because she's feeling much better apparently. So
But
you know,
that's a dangerous thing right now where we're at, where it's just constant misinformation where we're trying to like confirm our own biases. So it's like, oh, she just died so suddenly. Oh, okay, now we can
well,
turn it into a
she was sick
conspiracy.
for a
It's like,
while. No, it's all private detail, but regardless of that, just that
no, I know.
not everybody's tweeting condolences. I was feeling it too. I've never met her. She's one of the few I never met, but I've seen her work and all, and she's always smiling, has a happy face and all. So I got a question for you. Thompson won the election. He won his award again, right? See the big get a
Yeah,
big.
Michael Thompson, yeah.
Okay, I know we're not talking about. They don't want to talk about in the air, but okay, that's what I believe. An old ex-military guy, been around, seen things like that, scenarios. It was set up. I think he was set up, and I believe that. I met this. He's the only counselor I've met in the last 16 years more times than any of the counselor. I had a situation in one of the churches, one of the volunteers, and I called his office because that's his ward, and his office called back in less than 3 hours, and they got right on it. He's one of his old staff members, and then I met him later on, and he's like the best responsive counselor I've ever had. And I met him just before the end of before the whole thing happened with him at the Fairview Mall. I take my mom out for coffee and out shopping every week. So at Fairview Mall, I parked the car, and who gets up beside me? Thompson in his blue shirt, right? I said, and I almost run into him. I said, Counselor Thompson, we meet again. So I introduced my mom. My mom, you know, my mom shook his hand. And my mom's good at people, better than me, right? So and I talked about his mom because I met his mom. He doesn't know I met his mom years ago. She's a nice lady. And he says this thing as he walks away, we always gotta take care of our mothers. And I also look at people in the eyes and the heart. So my mom, as he walks away, my mom said, "Oh, he's such a nice gentleman." And my mom's really good people. So I told the news what happened with the whole thing going up in Muskoka. And she said, "I don't believe that man would be something like that." And just like common sense here, I know it's not supposed to talk about it, but it's us to talking. Two things happen in two incidents in a certain time frame. Come on, this guy's in a pillar community. He's an intelligent man. He's fought for ethnic rights. He's on so many boards. He's on so many committees. I've met this guy personally. I stick my rep on this guy. You know, about what's going on, went down, all that. It's just something not right about the whole scenario. You know, the fact that he won with such a high vote tells you something right there. People believe in it. And I talked to not just you. I talked to other out of all the I talked to 40 candidates all in total on tweet and message.
Oh well.
I hope he hears this message. I want to tell Mr. Michael Thompson that we candidates, 40 of us that I talked to, all believe you're innocent, and they believe that. But they didn't want to talk about it because the election time they wanted to burn their chances. Now we can talk about it because it's over, right? you know.
Right.
He's a nice guy. I've met him. He's a good guy. He's good. I've talked to a lot of. I do a lot of volunteer. I know a lot of volunteers. Know every one of these candidates. Or sorry, every one of these incumbents. That's why I based on endorsements for the five incumbents when I asked to pick who five, like Bradford and Robinson, and then in Thompson. Whenever I talk to people, and they well, Todd, he does that. He does this, he does that. Oh, he's great. I can phone his office. I can when they say I can phone his office and I get a response, and I can vouch for that. So just want to say what I feel about Thompson, Michael Thompson. I think he's innocent. He's a good guy, and whatever happened with it, etc. I hope he get cleared out. He can continue on his career. You know, it's such a shame. Like that. I've seen that happen
I
so many
mean,
times.
so I'm not interested in kind of declaring him innocent or guilty,
Very
um,
neutral, eh, buddy?
because I don't.
I know.
I'm yeah. I mean, it's because I mean,
Where's your
I
backbone,
haven't.
buddy? I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's fair. I could
Got
have a
you.
stronger stance than mellow in the middle. But
Stronger
like the
stance,
truth
buddy.
is, I
You're
haven't looked too
sitting
much
there.
into
What are you
it.
talking about, stronger stance? I'm just asking you.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
um, um, you know, again, I don't know him well enough. I can't vouch for the his character or any of that. Um,
My
so
man.
I'm not interested in saying he's innocent or guilty. I just know there's a lot of things that come up,
Well, I just
in
wanted
these
to state
sorts
that
of
before want to
situations,
make that statement for
Oh,
myself.
no,
No,
yeah.
no, no, no.
That's
I'm
all
not.
good.
I wasn't coercing you to agree with me. No, no. I just want to say it out loud.
Oh,
Because
I thought you were hoping to just have a little
I wanted to say that before during the election, make a video, and everyone say, no, 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 you're going to kill your election results and all this stuff. Really, really, you can't stand it.
I don't know. I think you can be honest at any time. Just, you are who you are and
Yeah, I wanted to do. I wanted to say, I even left a message, but he wouldn't take messages on his website. They weren't receiving messages, got blocked or whatever. I guess too many crazy messages or whatever. Oh,
well, yeah, I mean, I imagine that makes
I gotta
sense.
ask you a question. Where'd you learn how to write?
Uh actually, that's a funny question because
That's
I
why I asked
guess
the
the answer
question.
is I didn't. Yeah,
And
because like
people don't know this about you. That's why I'm asking because I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell people what I know
like
about you.
like a few weeks back I met up with Kiri. He was running against Michael Thompson actually. And he's part of the MSA like with Adam Golding and
Yeah,
them.
yeah. MSA guys, yeah.
Um and he had one of the things he had asked me while we were talking through some of our thoughts, which was great. Really liked talking to him. He asked me like, "Where did you go to school?" And
Ah,
it's like I sort of laughed because it never came up during the campaign. But I only have a high school diploma. Like I don't have anything beyond that.
no, you didn't answer our question.
And
Curious in
that's
mind. Where'd you learn how to write?
the I guess high school. I guess high school English class.
So those that didn't know why I'm asking this question about is because Phil asked me to help him with his campaign when I first met him. I met this guy on Tweet in June, right? Back and forth, messaging back and forth. And he said, "You want to know if you can share your campaign?" I said, "Okay, send it to me. Let's talk about it." Because I already did my campaign just briefly. And then what's that first thing I
You were
asked you
the first
when I read your
candidate
note?
to reach out
What's
to
the first
me.
thing I asked you when I read your note? I was like, "Where'd you learn how to write?" I said, "My gosh, I do a lot of reading. I read a lot of classics and all. I've seen a lot of writers." And I said, "You know what? You're one of the best writers I've come across in a long time. You're like me. I can do it on paper, with like verb, like facing an audience. But first now I'm used to it, getting better. But that's why that's like if you got see that's a natural talent. Oh, you had your statement at your debate, your opening debate.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You read your statement.
yeah.
I mean, oh my, you sent me a copy. I liked it. It was so good. You know.
Do you like that?
Oh, I loved it. I was like, I sat in the back making jokes. You're making me laugh at your expressions, right? Remember the one you did about
Yeah.
Crawford and Party were going on back and forth each other, and they're going to argue, and you're sitting you're right in front of me, and you're going like this. That's me.
They were so over the top.
That was hilarious. The whole attack thing with Party and Crawford. No, but you just have natural talent to write. That's amazing. You know,
I mean,
some
I
people have a
appreciate
hard
that.
time. So no, I just high school diploma, and so you have it inside you to write well. Nice. And people haven't seen you writing like I have. Well, they can just read your opening statement for your doing. You can tell right there you're a good writer. I even told Nick Costaman, check out his writing. I talked to two other people in university. I talked to two people I knew in university. One's a professor, one's a theologist. I said, check a look. I'm going to send you this guy's tweets. These are stuff that's writing about his campaign. And they asked him the same thing. Where did he get his education? See?
Well, there you
Hidden
go. The
talents.
answer is
Hidden talents, eh?
you just, um like my interest in politics is just I don't know where it came from. I started paying attention. This isn't exactly what you were asking, but like, just sort of um I paid attention really I started paying attention to politics in 2015 with that federal election. That was Stephen Harper, that was Justin Trudeau, that was Thomas Mulcair for the NDP. Um, and that's I feel like I started paying attention to politics then, but then the next year was, as we all know, famously.
Oh, they got frozen. Uh-oh. Bill's screen has frozen. He'll come back. Hey, Bill, if you can hear me. Oh, are you back?
Did that fix it?
Yeah, you
Did I
froze.
fix it?
Did I put you on the
Am I
spot?
still frozen?
Did I put you on the spot? That's why you froze?
Am I still frozen?
No, no, you're quite movable. In fact, you're all over the
Oh, okay.
place.
All right.
Not moving so fast now.
Sorry. All right.
So
Too
you're
much.
saying
Too
about
much.
you're in 2015. You're interested.
So yeah, I was paying attention to politics in 2015. But then 2016 came along with the dumpster fire of, Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. And for a couple years after that, I was very much paying attention to US politics.
Oh,
And I
really?
mean, that's interesting. It's interesting, and it's like a soap opera. When you don't live in the country that you're paying attention to the politics to, it's
Yeah,
like it
different.
doesn't
Oh
affect
my
your
God.
life. So it's just entertainment, right? Like you're not doing anything beneficial when you're paying attention to another country's politics more than your
Well,
own country's.
that's like
So there was
that's like our news is so. I got so bored just before the COVID. I got so bored of our local news. It's the same thing over there. And even like I'm not making fun of the reporters, but it's the way they're. I don't know they're trained like city TV news. When they ever do the reporting, they also like this. And then we're going to see an example. There's not like drag queens. There's not like depressed drag queens sometimes when they're talking. They have the same monotone. And so I do think of like, since it's Cynthia so and so, and we'll be on time at 11. You know,
yeah,
so I went to watch ABC
yeah.
before I went to Ignite TV, and I couldn't get it anymore. But I watched ABC News at 6 o'clock. I liked it. They showed everything. I was like, just a variety. No, no, Eugene, sorry. You get kind of mundane with the same. That's why you watch American politics. They're much bigger than us, and they
They
cover
are.
everything. They cover all their candidates. They cover their babysitters.
They're so they're so loud. They are
Oh God!
so loud and boisterous, which is
Hey,
like, I
I
mean, there's a
train with
niceness about that too.
I train with these Americans. Believe me, I know they're loud.
But
I can
I don't know what it was
I
where
can tell you, I
I got
can tell you a funny story. So
okay, all right.
I'm in the military. So back in the military, you see when you train in all these events, you have to go by weight category and age or whatever height. So in the military, they train us. So they have these American guys come and train. So it's supposed to wrestle them, right? I have to wrestle these guys, right? I'm back. I was only 115. 115. So I get this on the last tournament. Went to the finals. I got this one. I'm feeling with 15. It's like David and Goliath. So who are you gonna face? They go by markings. Okay, you gotta face so and so corporal. So this big guy looks like friggin' Dolph Lundgren walks on the mat. And they're all like, all my friends, all my like all 40, 80 of us are like, the crew's gonna die, the crew's gonna die. So I play cat and mouse, right? I forgot, I never told you, but I got trained by a private sensei years ago in another part of that's another story. Anyway, so I go up there, they ring the bell. This big guy's looking at me like just looks like he's Russian, but he's American. He was like this, goes like, I defeat you, you little peon, like. So I played chicken. I played like okay, but I knew what I was gonna do. I'm not gonna take him down by strength. He's too big. So I went up to him and I was like this intimidation, little 115 skinny guy on intimidation. He's like, I'm bobbing around. He's looking really like like something out of a Rocky movie. So, anyways, I did some stuff. He went down. I pinned him and I won.
Hell yeah,
he,
baby.
he got up. He was so pissed off.
Killing
He got
it.
up. He said, "Who do you think you are?" All like 80 of us with our sister balloons, like, "Yay! We're bringing him to the bar." So that was my story about don't ever go by appearance deceiving, right? It was funny, but that was a long time
Phil,
ago.
what is your approximate video game knowledge?
You mean like
Small or
science?
large?
No, it's very small.
Yeah, yeah. Like, do you know Street Fighter?
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, my nephews play it all the time.
Because the image you're giving me of this guy is of Zangief.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you know who
yeah.
that is?
Exactly. I know. Yeah.
So that's the image when you're talking about this guy, I'm just imagining Zangief.
I have
I
my
just wanted you
nephew,
to know that.
my youngest nephew playing. I went to go babysit him. He's like playing that video game. That one you're talking about, Street Fighter. He goes, "Come on over, Godfather Phil." Called Godfather Phil, Uncle Phil. He says, "Look at that! I'm killing you! I'm killing you!" Like, so I'm sitting there going playing with the other guy. What do you mean you're killing me? I'm pretending at you. You're the big guy in that video. I'm gonna kill you. Gee, thanks, buddy. Thanks for loving me.
Yeah. Listen, they don't quite know that barrier of
Yeah.
they're not quite yet afraid
he's
yet.
like 7 years old at the time. It's like it was hilarious. Just the look on his face, like that. You sure I'm gonna kill a guy by that film in my video. Jeez, thanks for the upbringing. Where are your parents? Is there a
Yikes.
dolly? Get my niece's dolly to go play with this guy. So how old are your kids, by the way? Your kids are what?
Well, their birthdays are coming up actually in a few weeks. They're going to be 10 and 6.
Oh, they're both together, the birthdays?
Oh, actually, yeah. I realize that probably does. So my son was born December 12th. My daughter is born December 14th.
And you're apart?
So oh, they're like 4 years apart. Like
Okay. All right.
And then my birthday, not that you asked, but to give you an idea of
I didn't ask.
how busy it is in the
I
you
asked about
didn't
your
ask.
kids.
Listen, you didn't ask. I'm just giving you a picture of our house in December.
I'm writing it
Okay?
down.
Because my birthday is also in December.
December what?
So it's a busy month.
Huh?
Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess my birthday?
Let me hold on. 17th.
Nope.
Okay. 12th.
That's my son's.
Oh, your son. Okay. 12th, your kid's son. Okay. Yours is the 24th.
So close.
The 25th? 20. Yeah?
Ew.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You're born on Christmas
Yeah,
Day?
I'm a Christmas baby.
You're a
Yeah,
Christmas
man.
baby. Wow, you must have been quite the bundle.
7 a.m. Hell yeah.
Wow, 7 a.m.
That's
Oh,
why I'm
7
all
a.m.
about sacrilegious, baby.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's cool. I didn't know you were born on Christmas Day. Actually, you know what? You're the first guy, actually, anybody's been born on Christmas Day. I mean, people 23rd,
Really?
24th. Yeah, you're the first one. I know a lot of people, a lot of birthdays, you know. So
Hell
that's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, wow. Was that a due date? Was that expected on the day? Like, were your mom expect?
Oh no, my due date was, January 9th, like just a regular day.
Oh, it came early. Okay, cool. But your brother's younger than you, right, Simon?
No. I'm the youngest of my brothers. They're all older than me.
How many brothers you got?
I got 3 brothers.
So Simon I met, right?
Yeah, you met Simon, my brother Jordan. We both work security downtown, and my brother Isaac, who teaches English in China.
Oh wow, I think you mentioned that. Wow, it's amazing. He speaks Chinese.
He's learning, but it's
It's a hard
definitely
language.
more.
I studied in the military, which is you study the four tone. There's four tones in the Chinese, or the Mandarin, I guess, Cantonese, whatever. Can't remember now. Been a while,
It's
but it's
I
it's
I
a
think that's another confusing thing. The fact that it's like the I mean they're two different languages, right? Like Cantonese and Mandarin,
yeah
but it's like I mean I can't even wrap my head around French. Like I'm a terrible Canadian, so um any other language is just beyond me.
yeah. Throat language I can't handle, but Chinese was something we had to study specifically for the coding we did, and they had the four tones because I have low frequency hearing. I mentioned in my video, so when I get tested in the military, I got tested below the human comprehension, more like they said dog level. So that's why they put me in sonar and so like when I came to doing the languages, for me the Chinese was I found it easy because I can hear the tones.
Oh wow.
Right? When I'm downtown Chinatown, I can hear when they talking. Like I don't understand the language, I've given it up. But I can hear the tones that they're talking different tones. They can like you when you hear that like you probably think it all sounds the same, but I can hear different tones or whatever, you know. Also, some kids are born with certain conditions. You ever heard of audio communication?
No.
Well, they teach you. Well, I'll give you an example. They teach us how to communicate with a person that's deaf, but knows how to speak audibly through his throat without comprehending how to explain. Audio communication is a communication language without using your mouth, where you just use words and
Oh, do
symbols.
you mean like sign language?
No, sign language is more like is this picturist, whatever. But like we had a we had a young kid in our military, son of one of the soldiers, and he was deaf and had a special need situation. So I used to communicate with audio. It had a they train you for it. It's a long training. You speak to the kids speaking. You're doing like tapping and sounds, and you speak it audibly, but you're not speaking. You're actually verbally saying things that he will comprehend on his audio level. It's hard to explain, but they train you that. So actually, with
I
my
think I
kids,
get what you're saying. Like,
yeah, it's a unique way to, especially with kids that can't speak verbally, special needs kids, or kids special for kids with mental incapacities, whatever. You can do this. So I had this kid at the church there not too long ago, and he had an audio, like a setback. He couldn't speak verbally like us. So, and the father says he doesn't speak, but he can hear his tones and sounds. So that when I came and I started talking to him, and they didn't believe me. And then I talked to him in a way, and he talked with his hand. He was banging on his wheelchair. I could understand stuff that you saying. And he said, "Your son wants to know if we can have if you go to McDonald's. That's what he's saying, right?" And they said, "How did you know he go? How do you know he likes McDonald's?" I mean, he just told me. Can you teach us that? I said, "No, it takes a long time." But just hidden things you'll find about yourself you can do, right? With the tone, the language,
yeah,
and all. But it's like certain like even like to this day, like because it gets more sensitive when you get older, like sirens or like a fire engine when I'm on the street, I gotta cover my ear. You just shake like
yeah.
yeah, even certain different sounds like we have a train over here comes by every so many hours, right? If you stand in a certain area of the living room, I can pick that up on my sound level, and it bugs my
Oh,
ears.
okay, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I I know. I mean, I'm not going to say it out loud because that's an invasion of privacy. But I know where you live. Based
you
on our
what am I?
conversations.
Who do
So,
you think you are? I know where your father lives too, and your brother lives,
well,
buddy. They live down the road. That's
exactly. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, Phil, where are you talking about? There's no train in that area. And I was like, oh, right at the bridge there.
how do you know there's no train
It's
in my
been so long
area?
since I've lived there. I do know there's a train. Now I do know there's a train there
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
just
remembering it
before
now.
the Lawrence. There's not the one on Lawrence going over under Lawrence. I'm sorry, under Victoria Park. The one further
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
It's
between
way down.
Lawrence and
But
Ellesmere.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
the whole neighborhood echoes so loudly with the buildings around, you can hear it going oh you can actually time it when it's coming by, right? It's the other train going that way. Yeah, that's no, that not that one, the other one. So that's funny. No,
Yeah.
it's funny when we talk about we're talking about addresses and you see your dad just down here, like just around the corner in the townhouse with your brother. That's so funny.
Yep.
Your dad's military,
Yeah,
right?
that was wild.
Ex-military.
No, and the reason you're confusing that is because my dad used to work at the Salvation Army, the church.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in the military for some reason. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, and again, I completely understand where that mistake comes from.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a church guy.
Oh, it's Salvation Army guy. Okay. Is he still going there?
Oh yeah, he still goes.
Yeah, there's
The
one
one at
over.
Warden,
Yeah, that's where I went for a
Warden
bazaar.
and Ellesmere? No, Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Warden and
Okay.
Lawrence.
Okay. Cool. So back to the we're talking about the results and all that stuff. About the whole thing. But
Yeah.
I was saying last time we left up, I said even they got the new ward candidates that got elected, what they want done and what went across the city hall, if it gets all done, if they get everything all they want on the platform, what they want, I think that's great. But reality is, they got the same guys there. Nothing against the incumbents, but you get set in your ways and all that. And that happens, right?
I think that's what's frustrating to me about these like strong mayor powers is that it's implying that John like yeah, it's being presented as okay, John Tory is now given the power to do housing in the city of Toronto. And it's like, okay, but he's had a council on his side for the past 8 years
Years.
who could work with him.
Yeah.
If he wanted it done, he could do it. He clearly doesn't want it done. So what are these powers going to do except just give John Tory more power?
Yeah.
Like, and we're supposed to trust him to do the right thing. Why should we trust him?
So all these people that got voted in, though, not only the ward candidates, the new ones, but also the incumbents. I mean, some were not Tory minions, as I call them. I mean, there's some that they're few on their own, but aren't they going to say themselves as incumbents, like, or even the like people that got voted? Why did I do all this canvassing for? And then people are saying like, I voted for you. Why can't you get it? Like I voted for one of the guys, my ward guy, you know. and he got in or whatever, and now he's got no power. Basically, it's all up to the mayor. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
Yeah.
doesn't it contradict the Constitution of the right to vote? Like doesn't it go down the trail?
Well,
You
and
can't
then
stop me from
it
voting. Like I'm saying, because if you're
and then
voting,
it
if you're voting these council guys in, you're voting as a constitution. They got voted in by the people. Okay, the people voted them in, and the people, and then now these people, these board incumbents that are all back in, new ones are all saying, "I got in by the people." But you know what? I can't do nothing much. So what's the use of going in? And 25% now is going to go further down with this result. You know,
ex-
it'll be 10%.
exactly,
It'll
Philip,
be 10% in
exactly,
4 years.
exactly what you're talking about. This is exactly why our our voting turnout is so low because they feel like no matter who they vote in, the powers that be say, well, it doesn't matter. You won't get your way. So what's the point? So that's why a lot of people what this election was what
29%.
28% voter
29%.
turnout?
Yeah.
Like and that's because people feel like their voice doesn't matter. And there's also a bit of an image where municipal politics itself doesn't matter. And as you and I as candidates, paying attention to our city and obviously we want to make the city better, we know that's not true. We know that municipal politics are very important. And it's just it feels defeating when John Tory does a campaign, he runs a campaign where he just shuts his mouth, keeps quiet, and then, he gets voted in, and then, oh, by the way, I asked Doug Ford for more power.
And then what about
Could
and
you
then
have said something?
Then what? And I was going to ask you how much media coverage did you get?
Was that?
You got media coverage by your local paper. That was it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh, actually, not that you're asking, but Beach Metro
Is that a new
News.
one?
Uh, no, this is the one that has
Oh, your bio, your autobiography, right?
you.
Yeah, you're right. I
Let's
got
see.
that one. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got that one.
Boom,
Right over there.
baby.
Yeah, autobiography
And
there.
of course, my friends Carthy and Kevin and Corey,
What happened
my
to
not friend Gary.
Kevin? Haven't heard from him in a while.
Kevin, he's still tweeting a bit. I think he's still floating around. I don't know too much about what's going on with Kevin.
And
I don't think
Parky?
Carthy. Um, again, I've seen him tweet a bit too. I don't know if they're like. I'm sure they've got things on the docket. They're professional guys. Kevin is an engineer. He'll be able to get a job wherever he goes.
Is
Carthy wasn't he the SB trustee?
Oh yeah, that's right. Is
What's
Misha
that?
going to get his junction finally in this 4 years or what? Poor guy.
Well, and that's oh yeah, fuck. I was just thinking about that too. The
Yeah, he's been
the
fighting
whole
for
rail
17
trail thing. How
years.
they're saying it's been 50
17.
years or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
And then 7 years he's been trying.
and then, and it's like, okay, so Gary Crawford won, and of course, that day we were both there at the trail. Um, he's been the city councilor for so long, and it hasn't happened. So why should we expect in the next 4 years that trail will happen?
Well, that's what I mean. Poor Misha is going to be fighting again for another 4 years.
Yeah,
And he'll be inviting the
but
next lecture at the junction in the next after 4 years about getting it done. You know,
well, I hope I can keep enough of a public presence so that I can maybe I can go to these things that Misha is doing within the next 4 years, not just when it's an election, but before then too. I feel like I need to learn how to be a good community advocate. I don't know how to do that yet.
that's what I'm doing. I'm doing these. I did the show like you're doing, municipalities. I'm doing my own thing, getting little interviews here and there. And I got one. I got one with a lady. Her name's Kelly. She's teaches women. I think senior women that are in their 50s, sports and fitness. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
So looks like I'm running out of time. Meeting and oh yeah, 10 minutes it says okay. But she's gonna do an interview with me, and I want to promote her business. That's what I like. Getting this.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love promoting. Especially, I did the coffee brewer the other day. Went down and did a video about them. They just opened up there. Did a nice story. Took out their background. Hung out there for about an hour and a bit. I went doing an interview with them too. But she said I'll do the video with you. I asked Jenny Warren, she's good, but she's busy. She'll do it eventually, but she's busy right now. I said, you know what? Whenever you have time, let me know. We'll do it and just talk about people because people, believe it or not, people are. I get a lot of emails. I don't know why I'm like the email king of getting all your about you and everybody else. I don't know why. I guess because I'm doing videos at the beginning of my campaign. But if you're asking like you, and they're asking about what's going on with the candidates, the ex candidates, where are they now? You know, they old where are they now?
Where are
So
they now?
so people
Back
are
to
like,
doing what
yeah, I get a lot
exactly
of
I was doing.
I got left from about Jenny Ward. I did an endorsement video for her, and she got like in 1 week, and then when 3 days, she got like over 200 hits on the video I did of her, right? So now people are asking, well, she tweets, but I won't say it. She told me some stuff. I let her. That's her decision to say when she does the video or the interview. But she's doing good. She's okay. I wanted people to know how she's doing and all that, because a lot of people feel disappointed. A lot of candidates that have good platforms, like I said, I feel all the candidates that didn't get on there, but still want to get up. And that's why the next few days you saw I was saying, get back in the race, don't give up, come on. That's what I guess. Are you going to stay in? Are you going to vote again? I mean, are you going to run again or whatever? I mean, 4 years is a long time, but before you know, it's year and gone, right? Like I heard some of the
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, I heard some of the like even some of the Mary candidates. I know like Sarah says she's taking it easy. Chloe says she's not going to run. Gil says he's not
Yeah,
going to.
Chloe did say that, right?
Yeah, disappointing. And then Gil says he's not going to run either, and that's also disappointing. I mean, I kept bugging him for a long time about his tweets, but he stayed, as somebody said, he stayed in his bubble of circumference of getting his certain votes. But even in the debates, you can hear the frustration in his voice, and it is frustrated because and he made a point. All the rules we followed, the incumbent didn't get them follow the rules, right? We had to follow the rules, and we had,
Yeah.
and again, I know even like the youngest candidate, Jack Yan, he was on there too. He's a good guy. He's good. I talked to him a few times. He's not. He reminds me of an American Western when I talk to him. The way he talks, he's got a bit of an accent.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of like cool. But he's a smart guy. They're all smart. All American. I saw all the platforms. I met most of them. Like they're on in the front there, except for Panwasi. But all of them I talked to, and just it's discouraging, even though we're all in competition, all of us. That's when I see their tweets. Like I saw Chloe's tweet after she lost about her disappointment, and I saw Sarah's, and I saw Isabel's, and I saw Jill's. I mean, I said, even though we're competing, I mean, they don't have a human heart for these people. Like just feel for them what they've gone through. I mean, I did a lot of canvassing, like, you know, I did canvassing. I did all awards twice. I didn't take any pictures. I just went, go shook hands. I went, one lady's helping out the garden. Said, he wants some help. She says, do you want my vote? I go, no, let's go I'm here. Let's do some gardening over here. Let's go get it done. If you want to vote for me, that's fine, but people are saying you should take more pictures, but that's something I have to get used to. Military guys are private. I never talked about anything about my career until I got into the lecture. Now my family knows what I do. Oh, you did all that? Wow. You never told us
Yeah.
that. They just knew I fly around the world on different ships and planes. Oh, you're in a sub now? Oh, cool. That's it. I come home. It's people understand like you're away like in the military. Like I saw my family in the time of like in 2 years, one time in 2 year period. I saw my family twice. And then my dad
Wow.
passed away when I was in the military in BC. And that was hard for my family because I was the had to come back from BC for the
Well,
funeral.
because you're hard, you're far away, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and especially on ship. When you're on ship, it's so hard. Unless if somebody's ill, they can't get off. But if somebody dies, apparently back
Yeah.
then when I was in it cost if my dad passed away and I was on the ship, it would cost the government $30,000 to get me off the ship from a copter because every not every ship has a copter. So the copter had to come from a nearby
Yeah,
ship,
yeah,
fly over to our ship, and they can't land, right? So I'd have to be I'd have to go in a boat or boat, or what do you call it? I can't remember. Anyways, to their ship from a distance. Then the copter go get on the copter and then take off to the mainland, which would be part of Europe, whatever. Then take a plane, fly back to Canada. You know what I mean? So it cost them 30 grand back then. So when they talk about getting the whole vaccine, but firing all these military people that didn't want to take the vaccine, like the nurses and all, I said, you know what? I don't think you realize what you're doing. I'll give you an example. I was a coder. There's only right now, there's only 10 people in the forces that know the old code like I do. So these people that are still
yeah.
in, like three or four, if they fire them, they're screwed. There goes security for that area. You got to train these guys again. You know, it's like nurses and doctors.
I
You're gonna
mean,
fire all these nurses. They're all gone to the states. Why would you fire these qualified? Now they're looking for nurses. They qualified nurses. Now they're giving programs. You're firing qualified nurses that took care of all these people when they're sick. And I do a lot of volunteer. seeing these doctors, especially nurses and social workers and the supporters, seeing the look on their face on a bus coming back and it's a waiting line. And you can tell, they got the uniform ready to go to the hospital. And I said, they got that look on their face. All trying to be happy. But I said, you know what? I remember this one nurse there, she left, and she was just like, I just want to go to bed. I said, how long? I just came off a 24-hour shift. I had 5 hours sleep. I said, oh my gosh. That was during the COVID, before the vaccine. She's risking their life every day. And how does the government repay all these people for risking their lives, putting their lives on loan? Even truckers, I don't know what the truckers in Ottawa, but still, to the point that they brought stuff, the supply and demand, bringing stuff over, cutting down their sleeping hours for truckers are very hard. I know people that are in truckers. You need a minimum of hours to drive those big rigs over the border, and what they do, they're not taking the vaccine. All got fired. Everybody got fired. I'm trying to get my cousin on the interview. She's in the States. There's 5 kids on her side. She's the oldest one. She's the CEO of one of the banks here in Washington, and I know what the I hope she'll tell me I know the exact name of the disease or whatever. She has a condition where she takes certain medications. Her blood clots in her system. My sister knows the name.
Myocarditis or something?
You
No,
know,
that's
like,
that's a heart thing.
yeah. So she didn't have to take the vaccines, any of them at all, because of her condition. So that's an example of that. So
Right.
what? They're gonna fire her now, according to our standards, because she's the CEO of a bank. So she's fired because she can't take because of her condition. Now, when she's a CEO, not just of that bank, she covers a whole bunch of branches, money and government, all. So if she get rid of her, they're going to experience CEO gone, fired because she can't take the vaccine. So I'm saying, like over here, I took the vaccine twice, and my shingles came back twice, and I had shingles for 8 years. I went dormant. They say you never get rid of shingles, so I went dormant for like 3.5 years. I had no shingles. I watched what I ate, and I was fine. I took the vaccine at 4 o'clock on a Saturday before Easter Sunday. 8 o'clock, I was in bed for 3 days. My shingles came back. Jeez, I took the second one. I was in bed for 2 days. So it's not all foolproof, these vaccines. So when people attack people like Sarah about her mandates, I mean, I see both ways. Like, see what they mean about how dare she talk like that about the mandates, but also see like everybody has a condition, and also they're not 90% foolproof. All these vaccines. So I'm not sure how much time we left there before you get cut off there. Oh, it's just right there. So I got 2 minutes. Oh, so that's a new 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, go ahead, Phil. Do whatever you talk, whatever you. I got 2 minutes. I'm talking too much here.
Oh no. I
You're on the
gotta
spot. You got
I
one
gotta
minute.
I gotta do I got 1 minute and 50 seconds to be pro-vaccine, pro-mandate as fast as I can.
We
I
can
took,
another.
obviously I probably
We can
can't.
we can do
Um,
another. Yeah.
I think we would be good. I I feel like it would be hard for me to get across what I want to say about this because like a lot of it is I don't know how to get across what I want to say, but it's like these are a lot of these sorts of things that people are complaining about, like requirements that sort of come up in jobs suddenly.
Yeah.
Not that we should be okay with it, but a lot of lower income jobs work like that. And we just have to kind of like suck it up in the same way when they introduce people are probably going to be like, what is he talking about? He's sort of like, why did he just talk about why the vaccine or whatever? It's like when they introduced the body cameras for the police
Yeah.
and the police officers were like,
Oh
oh,
wait, Phil, it's gonna
I could
give
you,
me less
what's
than
that?
1 minute. I'm gonna end the video. I'm gonna end the video so I don't get cut
Okay, all
off.
right.
Okay. So hold on. I'll talk to you after. Thanks for having it, Phil. I'll do another session with you next time. So I'm gonna stop the recording. Thanks for coming on my show there, buddy.